It's 2012 flipped on its back, I suppose. We were unfortunate to lose to Galway in the Leinster final in 2012, and we know how that feels to lose a provincial final and to have that aim of an All-Ireland final in September to maybe get your chance back to take on that team again, and that's what Galway have this year. So look, you can look at it from both sides. I suppose we do have that I suppose perk in our step to know that we can beat Galway this year, but we have to brace ourselves for that determination and I suppose bitterness nearly that Galway are no doubt going to bring to this thing after losing out in the provincial final. So look, there's two sides to it, but really it's a new day, and what's happened before, however many games have been played, it really goes out the window. So it's 70 minutes in All-Ireland final day, and look, it's just going to be war.
I suppose I have about 50 Ireland's played at home against the Gable end of the house, so I think I've won all them already, so I'm really looking forward to the next one in the 6th September. It was a hugely intense game against Tipperary. I'd say it was even intense to watch as a spectator, and there was just never a second to do something you wanted. There was always somebody in your case, But look, it was a great experience and a very enjoyable experience, hopefully. But there's a fine line, we could have easily lost that game too, I suppose. And we knew what it was like to be losing, and Tipperary beat us last year, So we didn't want to be in that losing dressing room again. But look, it was a great experience, and I learned a lot from it.
It's hard to take in on the day, let's say the whole atmosphere. There's a great buzz, the crowds are cheering, that kind of thing. But I suppose when you're on the pitch, you're kind of focusing. Listen, I'm waiting for the ball to drop. I'm waiting to obviously to see who I'm marking, who am I picking up. You want to get your hands on the ball straight away. You don't really take in the whole atmosphere that's around. There's obviously a few, the parades and that kind of thing. You're kind of walking around, but I know for me personally, I'm more focused on the game, and you probably don't take in the full atmosphere of it. I know last year I went to the football final, and you see it from the stand. You see the buzz and the crowd, and it does give you goose pimples on your arm. Because the way it all panned out, but when you're in it and you're playing the game, you're in a zone where I suppose you can't really appreciate it.
In the last few years, we've struggled to finish out games. This year, we set a precedent that we look at finishing off a game in the last 15-20 minutes is what we need to do, and I believe that definitely we're in a better place than we were last year, or even in a better place than we were in the Leinster final. So yeah, definitely we have, I suppose, improved. We've learned what we need to do, and we've learned from our mistakes, and that's a massive thing to say. Whether you're obviously improving all the time, but Sunday is going to be the day where you need to drive it and you need to have everything right, and it's perfection on that day. Okay, there will be mistakes, but it's the team that's going to make the least amount of mistakes,
Every day you have to think on your feet, you have to adapt to different styles of different teams. With Waterford, I suppose it was as different as any for us, but I suppose we managed to get the grips of that, maybe be it late on in the game in the last 20-25 minutes. I suppose we had the feel for it, and the boys up the other end started firing, so it was really only then we managed to pull away from Waterford, and Galway are going to bring a different challenge again. And I suppose people talk that they do play more in the standard 15 against 15, but that's not to say they're not going to come with something new on match day. So look, I go back to it again, you just have to think on your feet, adapt on the day, and hopefully be ready for whatever they throw at us.
GAA, be there all the way.